brought to you by ITD Group Computer Services, Suites by Kim Ross, George Henry Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Holiday Cruises and Tours, and Banner Payson Medical Center. Well, good, finally, Friday morning. It's about 4.5 minutes past 9 o'clock, 50 degrees, and you know what it is. It's Friday, so it's time for the Hometown Movie Guys. We have Tina, Craig, and Andy with us in the studio this morning, telling you everything you want to know about what's going on at the Sawmill Theaters, and ever so much more. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's cut that stuff out, and good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning again.
There you go.
Yep.
And boy, I tell you what, we got all kinds of things to talk about. Some pretty cool new movies that are starting up today at the Sawmill Theaters, and one that I know we've talked a little bit about here on the Friday morning show, and that's called The Mustang. A story that tells the story actually about a Roman Coleman, a violent convict, who is given the chance to participate in a rehabilitation therapy program involving the training of wild Mustangs. Now this is rated R, plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. Craig, the R rating because of potty language?
Language, yes.
Yeah, okay. But this is supposed to be a convict that is just like incorrigible, and he's teamed up with a horse that's just incorrigible, and they've got to, I guess, deal with each other, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
And they all live happily ever after? Or?
I'm not sure. We'll see it.
Anyway, actually, I've been told that this is, it's really a riveting movie.
It's got great reviews. I think it's 71 on Metacritic.
Wow.
We got Bruce Dern is in this one too.
Right.
It was Bruce Dern. But yeah, it's a great movie for Payson, I think, and everyone's going to enjoy this one.
Interesting. And Andy, do we have any numbers as to what it cost to produce this puppy?
No, but not much.
Okay.
No,
Not much in your budget or not much in Hollywood?
Well, in Hollywood terms, yeah. No, this is one of those low-budget miracles. The director is a French guy with not a big resume. Of course, Bruce Dern is in there, and he's doing a lot of work here, kind of at the twilight of his career. I'm glad to see him out there. Of course, Bruce Dern was in The Cowboys with John Wayne. He played the bad guy in that one.
Yeah.
That goes back a few years.
Way back in the day.
Bruce Dern is one of the very, very few actors that ever successfully shot John Wayne.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Who
So
knows?
go out and see The Cowboys. It's a terrific flick, and if you don't cry, shame on you.
And then watch The Mustang.
And the guy that the star of it, Matthias, and boy, I'm not.
Shonart? Yeah.
Schonart?
It looks like her Shonart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belgian.
It's
Some
Belgian, yeah.
Oh, he is? He's Belgian?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I didn't know that. But this guy, you might recognize him. He's a fairly young guy, but he's got lots and lots of movie appearances. I think this is probably the first time he's starred in a movie, at least one that's come to our attention. So it should be really important movie because of its theme. It's really difficult to rehabilitate habitual criminals, as we all know. And so it's a good theme and well done. It's got 94% fresh on
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty fresh.
that is pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. Now that's just one of the movies that is starting today at the Sawmill Theaters. Another one is The Kid. Now this one stars Chris Pratt, Leela George, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio. That's what she said. The story of a young boy who witnesses Billy the Kid's encounter with Sheriff Pat Garrett. Now this is also rated R. It plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. What do we know about this one? Other than it's a movie kind of about Billy the Kid.
Yeah, this is another movie. This is kind of a must-see for me because of the Billy the Kid theme. This is a Southwest theme where I live. I live in the Southwest.
Right.
Also, it's directed by Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
And he also had a hand in the writing as well. So and has a role in it too. He plays a sheriff that is not Pat Garrett, plays a different sheriff. Ethan Hawke plays Pat Garrett, and a young kid named Dane DeHaan plays Billy the Kid. And I saw a picture of this guy, and he has a very young-looking guy. So apparently Billy the Kid was a very young-looking guy too.
Have you ever seen pictures of him?
Nope.
Kind of a goofy looking guy.
We got a big no on that.
He seems to be, the couple of photos that I've seen, he reminds me of Alfred E. Newman.
Oh, really?
On Mad Magazine, you
Oh,
know,
goodness.
same kind of ears. And,
Huh.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now, because we want to try and head off Tina's grumpiness early in the show today, and I know you've got a real thing about movies that take a little bit of a departure from historical fact. Do we know anything about this one as far as how closely aligned to
You know, I
truth
don't,
it is?
and
or-
I would like to know, because I'm fresh off watching on Netflix The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, which writes the story that was so mistold by Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty back, you know, in Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's the true story of Frank Hamer, who was a sheriff, who, you know, who hunted down these, and they were stone cold killers. I mean,
Sure.
they were not, you know, all warm and fuzzy like they were in the Bonnie and Clyde movie. In fact, what I read was that Frank Hamer's relatives were still alive, and they sued and won a suit against the portrayal of him in Bonnie and Clyde because it was such a negative portrayal.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, this is a little departure from the kid, but I'd like to see the kid because I'd like to see how true it is to historical. So I'm not grumpy, and I won't be grumpy until I find out, and
Okay.
maybe I won't be grumpy then.
Oh, well, you never know. We'll have to wait and see. So all kinds of interesting stuff. So the Mustang again plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. Another robocall coming
And
in.
the Kid at 1:15. And also on the Kid, we said that Vincent
D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio directed it, but he and Chris Pratt plays I don't know, another deputy, I think. Anyway, he and Chris Pratt were in the same movie with one of the most recent Jurassic Park movies.
Right.
And they also played together in The Magnificent Seven, which was
Yeah.
last year, year
And that was
before.
great.
Yeah, that
You know,
that really
and I
was.
didn't know if they could make a good remake of that, but it was really good.
Yeah. And when the Vincent D'Onofrio character first enters the Magnificent Seven, becomes one of the gang, Chris Pratt has the best line in the movie. He looks over at him, and then he looks over at his friends, and he says, "That bear's wearing people clothes." So this is the third time that they've been together here in the past 3 years. One can only assume that they're friends.
And if I remember, at the end of The Magnificent Seven, Chris Pratt has that surprise for the veterans.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away if anybody hasn't seen it, but you should see it. It's a really good remake.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not a big remake person all the time.
No.
They make me grumpy.
Yeah.
But this one did not. This one was great.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's has quite the impact of the original Magnificent Seven, but it's a very, very well done movie, and
Yeah.
certainly it's worth watching.
It is.
And it does have some fun stuff in it too.
Yeah.
Well, again, the Mustang and the Kid, both getting underway today at the Sawmill Theaters. There's another one that, and this one's
$37 million. You did. I finally
on the
on
Kid.
the Kid. That's what it cost to make it. So finally, you asked me when I actually have the number.
Ah, there you go. So, and not real big numbers by Hollywood standards. I mean, compared to some of these other epic sci-fi things.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the others that both of those are rated R, but one that is good for everybody, is rated PG, that starts today is Missing Link. Sir Lionel Frost's last chance for acceptance by the adventuring elite rests on traveling to America's Pacific Northwest to prove the existence of a legendary creature. Dun, dun, dun. So, what do we know about this one, Craig?
Looks like a good one.
Yeah.
This is it's actually about a Yeti,
Right.
a Sasquatch, that is
Bloody old
is
monster.
all by himself here in America, and he's trying to find others of his kind. So he travels to the Himalayas to try to find the Yetis there.
Mhm.
But this is Zach Galifianakis, Hugh Jackman's in this, Zoe Saldana. So a great cast kind of doing these voices.
Wow.
This is that kind of claymation.
So this is all animation?
Yes, yeah, it's that claymation
All right.
type animation they have going on. You know, I have not seen it. The trailers actually look pretty funny.
Wow.
It does look like one that will be good for everyone, and I mean, you know, definitely good for the kids.
But, you know, the tediousness of claymation, where you actually have a clay figure, you get it into a certain position, take a frame or two, then move it in another position, take another frame or
Yep.
two. Holy moly, what does it cost to produce a movie like this, Andy, oh keeper of all of the numbers?
We don't know.
Is
They
this
spent
a
too
royal
much.
we? Or was that, yeah, you're
Yeah.
including me, I don't know either.
Yeah, no, several of them I came up dry this week. But we also have, for voices, we have Emma Thompson and Timothy Oliphant.
And where would we know
Oh,
Timothy Oliphant from?
Hitman.
Oh, okay.
Man, I love that movie. Why do I love that movie? It doesn't even make me cranky. I love it.
And the TV show Justified.
Yes.
Right.
Justified.
TV
Excellent.
show,
Santa Clarita Diet.
shoot, what's the one where they're up in North Dakota?
You're missing the zombie movie.
Up in
Santa
North
Clarita
Dakota.
Diet.
A zombie movie? What?
Yeah.
Timothy is a
You
zombie?
watch that Santa Clarita Diet?
Hey, why don't you guys talk on microphone
Sa-
instead? This might be more interesting for everybody.
Santa Clarita Diet?
No,
It's on Netflix.
no,
Timmy Oliphant and Drew Barrymore.
No.
She's a zombie.
no.
Oh, you
One I
haven't
don't
seen-
know about.
Oh my
We're in
gosh.
season.
Well, we know
three, I
what
think now, 2 or 3.
Andy's gonna be doing next. He's gonna
Yeah.
be, there's a zombie movie he hasn't seen yet.
Oh, it's a great one. She's a zombie and he's married to her, and he just goes along with it. It's a great husband, really. Yeah, he just sticks it out.
Hey, speaking of sticking it out, we
My husband
gotta,
out there?
we gotta take a quick break here. We're gonna come back, find out what else is playing at the Sawmill Theaters. We also wanna find out this morning, we're gonna get our experts' opinions, and we'd like to get yours too, of your favorite gangster movie, your favorite horse movie, or your favorite Western. Give us a ring, 474-2427.
The early bird?
18 minutes past 9 o'clock. 50 degrees at the Radio Ranch. Getting back to the movie guys. Andy, I know you're waiting with bated breath to say
Yeah,
something.
we finally remembered it was Deadwood, was the other
Oh, Deadwood, the one
Timothy Oliphant TV series, yeah.
Ah, okay. Hey, we got a caller on the line. Let's make sure we talk to them before they leave us. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Sure. Oh, yeah, the one up in the
Yes,
Dakotas
yeah.
there, right? Is that one that you watched? Yeah? I think I missed that one. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. How did you like Timothy Oliphant's portrayal in Deadwood?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really good,
Justified.
yeah.
And
But have you seen Hitman? Oh my God, that is a really good movie. He is a stone cold, I mean, he's so believable.
wow.
Yes.
And that's what, 2 years old, something like that?
Oh, it's a while back.
Oh, really? Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for, keeping us straight on the names there, caller. We do appreciate it. We'll open up the phone lines again. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about favorite gangster movies, favorite horse movies, favorite westerns. And we want to let you know real quick first, though, about some of the other stuff that's playing at the Sawmill Theaters. Shazam is still playing, rated PG-13. Plays at 1, 4, and 7. That 4 o'clock showing is in 3D. How's this one been doing so far?
It's done great. #1 picture in America.
Yeah? And been doing well here locally as well?
It has, yes. Yeah,
Right.
it's a PG-13. There's some images in there for, the little ones might be a little scary for little kids, but
Right.
it's pretty friendly.
Interesting. And now, have they been getting good ROI on this so far? Do you know? Andy?
Not yet. It's on the cusp of profitability. It'll probably by this time next week it'll be profitable. And this is really fun. What happens in Shazam is this 14-year-old kid says the magic word Shazam, and he turns into Captain Marvel.
Right.
I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat this. They call him Shazam in the movie because of copyright issues.
There was another Captain Marvel just recently that
Yeah.
had some other curves to it.
So he's this grown-up with superpowers, but he's still a 14-year-old kid. So that gives you all kinds of opportunities for funny stuff to happen.
Oh, I
you know.
bet, yeah.
The clumsy, inept kid with superpowers, and it's fun, and it's doing really well.
Again, plays at 1, 4, and 7, and that 4 o'clock showing in 3D, that would be kind of interesting.
That would be fun.
I like 3D. Also, and if you like to get the holy Hebrew jeebers scared out of you, Pet Cemetery is still playing. And has this been getting a lot of people out to, I don't know how horror movies play here locally, been getting pretty good response?
Not real big locally.
Right.
This was number 2 in the country last weekend. This is a good one. You know, this is a Stephen King adaptation. I really liked it.
So now, this is a remake, or is this a sequel?
No, it's a remake.
Remake.
This is a remake, yeah.
So just using the latest technology to make it even, because the original one was pretty darn spooky.
Yeah, this one's really creepy.
Hmm.
Definitely rated R.
Yeah.
There's some pretty graphic images in it.
All right.
But yeah, I really liked it. It was creepy and
He really
weird
liked it.
and,
He doesn't see all the movies.
it was actually another zombie film.
Oh.
Can't get Andy in there to see this.
So if you're going out on a date and you're thinking of good excuses for your date to suddenly grab onto you, this might be the good movie for that.
It'll do it, yeah. Yeah, there's some, you know, it's not just a you know, visual, you know, jump starts and graphic stuff. It's
Right.
kind of a psychological, you know, horror flick also.
There's
a lot
suspense in there.
Yeah, well, the characters are all, you know, Stephen King, so these characters are flawed, you know, they have...
Dark and twisted.
Yeah, well, things drugging up from their childhood, and yeah, Stephen King does it. It's not just for him. He can't just do a horror film. He's got to, you know, have these people with terrible childhoods and then throw them into a horror movie. It's just it just makes it that much worse.
Right. Interesting. And now, Pet Cemetery, has this been a profitable thing, Andy? I mean, we got...
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have 2 movies this week that are solidly profitable. They spent $21 million to make it. They've got $50 million back at the box office.
Oh, there you go.
And it's just getting started. Number 2, number 2 in the country last week. So this one will have some legs on it. John Lithgow is in this, one of my favorites, and we shan't forget to recommend the greatest movie he ever made, Buckaroo Banzai in the Ninth Dimension. So be sure and...
Oh yeah, we are all familiar with that one.
Be sure that it is a hoot.
Can we borrow your copy?
Because there may not be any
Because
others.
you probably have the only one.
A Pet Cemetery plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. It is rated R, and it's about after the Creed family's cat is killed by a truck, Dad resorts to burying it in the mysterious pet cemetery, which is definitely not as it seems. All right, then rounding out the thing down a much more positive note, Dumbo is still playing. PG is the rating on that. Plays at 1, 4, and 7. They're just a lot of fun for the whole family. I've seen the trailers. Looks like some pretty good special effects. And Danny DeVito in there as the ringmaster, and then a big old flying elephant flying around inside the tent. I mean, the special effects,
Sure.
it's come a long way since the original Dumbo cartoon.
It's straight to and you know, this is when you can come in tomorrow morning
That's
at
right.
10 o'clock. We've got a cystic fibrosis fundraiser going on. So come in tomorrow, Saturday morning.
Just $5.
10 a.m., just $5. And that $5 all goes to the Cystic Fibrosis
All
Foundation.
the money goes to cystic fibrosis? Easy
The
for me
whole
to
thing,
say.
yep.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and you know, we're gonna open up multiple theaters, so there's not gonna be a problem with seating or anything, plenty of seats,
Nice.
and for a good cause.
All right. So get on down to the Sawmill Theaters. Again, that's tomorrow morning. Take the kids down there and have a bunch of fun and go see Dumbo. Poor Dumbo, they always call him.
I really liked him.
Really?
I really did. It was
Yeah.
sweet.
Now, what movie was it that I just saw you reviewed in today's newspaper, Andy? It was something that was full of family fun, if I recall correctly.
Shazam!
Shazam, you like that one for the whole family? Huh?
Yeah.
Have you seen Dumbo yet?
You betcha. And oddly enough, this week, in Tuesday's copy of the Payson Roundup, I had a review of Dumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that evidently you missed that or read it and forgot
I'm
already.
not sure how I overlooked that.
And in today's paper, I have the review of Shazam.
Wow.
So the newspaper's out there, folks, and it often has reviews by me, so be sure and read them.
Despite that, pick up a copy anyway. Yeah, and Dumbo, one of the other people, it looks a lot like Alfred E. Newman with a bigger nose.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff
Really
in
nice movie.
some of the stuff in Dumbo is very traditional, though. We go back to, I think, 1941, the original cartoon version of it.
Yeah.
For instance, there's a feather
Yeah.
that the elephant, the little baby elephant, carries for confidence. If he has the feather,
Yes.
then he can.
Then he knows he
can
can fly. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
that's in the original. So it's a very much updated version of the story, but with some traditional elements as well.
Very cool.
It's really sweet, I mean, for kids, and for a family with kids, I think it's great, you should really go see it.
Yeah, nice. And so that rounds out the list of what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters. You can always look to see what's playing and when it's playing by just logging on to sawmilltheaters.com or call Craig at 602-377-0719. Now, again, we wanted to find out a little bit about people's favorites when it comes to a few different genres of movies, and one of them is gangster movies. And you were already talking about Bonnie and Clyde, Tina, and some of the past portrayals of that. Is there one in particular when it comes to gangsta movies that stands out above the rest?
Yeah, I'm having brain fade, but you guys help me, it's, Robert De Niro plays Al Capone. Oh, come on, it's a couple, I believe it was it Francis Ford Coppola who did that? With Kevin Costner playing,
Oh, the G-Man?
yeah. Have no more time. Come on, you guys,
It was-
my fellow hometown movie guys are looking like they're asleep here.
The story was
Yeah.
about Costner's character, and he was
Yes.
like the G-Man or something
Yes,
like
and
that.
it has Sean Connery
Right.
and Charles Martin Smith in it, and,
Sean Connery, in my opinion, one of the classiest actors ever.
Absolutely.
I always
Yeah.
liked it. Hey, we got another caller online. Let's find out
The
what they're thinking about.
Untouchables.
Oh, the
Oh my
Untouchables. There you go.
gosh. Thank you,
Take off
Craig.
on the old
Yeah.
TV show from way back when.
Yeah, but it was really, really, I mean, Robert De Niro
Elliot
played
Ness.
the baddest Al Capone,
Right.
who was a sociopath. I mean, the guy was just murderous. And there's a really bloody scene in where Capone has a baseball bat, and I'll say no more. So, that's a good movie.
And here's a hint, it wasn't a home run.
No, and it wasn't PG.
All right. All right, back to the phones here at 28 minutes past the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning.
Yes, it was.
Boy, thank
Yes.
gosh we have,
I know.
listeners out here that'll keep us straight on this
Have
stuff.
brains. Gangster.
Well, now, first of all, get your slippers back on and answer the following question. What's your favorite gangster movie? Oh, that is your favorite.
That's good.
Well,
Yeah.
second favorite?
Oh.
Boy, I wish I had the sound effects of that. Dun dun.
He's been in,
Yeah.
he's one of those, he's been in so many different things, and he was in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, really?
That was him that shot the sergeant in the bathroom.
Oh,
that
goodness.
crazy
And-
snowball.
Oh, yeah, and he shoots Gunny.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that goes back.
That
I
was
haven't seen
him.
that one.
Yeah, he was in The Cell. Remember The Cell, that weird with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes.
I wouldn't
I
mind being
saw
in The
that.
Cell with
I
Jennifer
really-
Lopez.
Yeah, weird, creepy
It was
movie.
weird and creepy. It was
Yes.
really
But
good.
no, he's been in a lot of things. He's kind of one of those, you don't always recognize him. He kind of changes his appearance a bit too. The Daredevil flick they just did on Netflix, he was the bad guy in that.
Well, and he was also in Men in Black, if you'll remember. He was the alien.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yes, I
Yes.
remember stuff.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. The guy had to adjust his
Yeah.
head all
Yes.
I mean, you'd recognize him for sure, but
Yeah, he's really
That
good.
was him?
That was
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
And he's girthed up a bit since then.
yeah, he
Yeah.
played, was it Colin Fisk, or the character that he plays in Daredevil? But yeah, he's pretty big in that one.
Right. Interesting.
But yeah, he is one of those people that you definitely recognize him. He's been in a lot of different movies.
Well, interesting.
So he played Edgar. He's wearing the Edgar suit.
The Edgar suit, yes, there you go, yeah.
Hey, thanks for the call, Al. We got to take a quick break here, get people caught up on today's weather forecast. We're going to come back and find out more about favorite gangster movies. Want to find out
St.
from you what yours
Valentine's Day
is.
Massacre
Also,
with Jason
favorite horse movie, favorite western, and what about your favorite animated movie? Give us a call. 427 minutes in front of 10 o'clock. 50 degrees. Talking with the movie guys on a Friday morning here on Rim Country Forum, and. I know during the break there, you guys are developing more and more of a gangster movie list. What else have you come up with?
I was going all gangsta.
Gangsta.
Yeah. Well, Andy mentioned Casino, which is just a classic. And that's Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and Sharon Stone, is it not? Yes.
Right.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And the name escapes me, the little mean guy,
Oh, Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
He plays the little mean guy in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he does.
He's really good.
He's really good at it. And
He's
and,
very believable as a sociopathic little mean guy.
yeah, there's a great scene in this one where they're in New York, and somebody in a bar says something he doesn't like, and he just kills him.
Just kills him.
Just kills him with a pencil of all things.
Yes.
Just right there in front of everybody, like it's nothing. Of course, he has to flee, and he ends up in Vegas.
Yeah, of course.
The casino.
Yeah.
Other than that, a pretty fun guy?
Yeah.
But
He's-
what an amazing movie about it,
Yeah.
and a great cast. Boy, Sharon Stone is really
She was
good in that.
excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've just been handed a note, a couple other ideas.
Oh.
Bullet and Serpico.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
I forgot all about Serpico. I'm not sure I've seen
Yes,
Bullet.
A Bullet with Steve McQueen.
You haven't seen
That's-
Bullet?
What?
That's
No, we have to like leave the studio right now and go see Bullet. Yeah. That has that car chase,
Mhm.
which in which Steve McQueen actually did a lot of his own driving, maybe all of his
And I think I
driving.
read a story just recently where they just auctioned off that car.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it got some like crazy numbers.
And there were professional drivers doing as the bad guys.
Right?
And there's no music in that chase scene.
Really?
It's all just, you're focused on the driving. It's
Huh.
such an amazing scene.
Wow. I'll have to
Yeah.
check that
Yeah,
out.
and for decades, that was held up as
Yeah.
the chase
The
scene of
chase
all
scene of
time.
all time.
The only
yeah.
problem with it was that they missed the fuel dump.
They missed the fuel dump?
They missed the fuel
You know,
dump.
it was a catch and release for one car took off from the other one, and it missed the fuel dump, and they had to explode everything.
Oh, jeepers.
Make it look real.
Interesting. So, and then Serpico, that was a,
Yeah,
that was a,
Al Pacino.
yeah. Hey, Al Pacino's been in a lot of these.
And that was a true,
Say hello to my little friend.
oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Scarface, yeah, right.
Interesting. So, a couple more now. You got any others as far as?
Yes, and
Uh-oh.
yes. Eastern Promises. If I had to pick one that was my favorite gangster movie, that is Viggo Mortensen, and he is a Russian. He plays a Russian gangster who is a driver for this just horrific guy who runs prostitutes. I mean, this is not a movie for the faint-hearted.
Right.
But Viggo, there is a scene in there in which Viggo fights off. He's stark naked in a bath, one of those Turkish baths,
Right.
and he fights off these assassins who are coming to get him.
So what you're telling us is that you like movies with naked men fighting against each other.
I know, sure. I mean, but it's not, you know, it's.
Well, at least we got to the bottom line.
It's such a good story, too. The story is really a smart, intelligent story, and David Cronenberg is the director, and he also directed The End of Violence, which is a kind of a companion movie. Viggo also stars in that, and that's a gangster movie. So, you know, if you want something that is riveting, End of Violence and Eastern Promises, amazing. Viggo is maybe my favorite actor. He's
Right.
amazingly good.
Yeah, have you ever done Turkish bath?
No.
I did something similar in Japan after relief operations there with the earthquake and tsunami and Fukushima melting down and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And one of the guys we were working with said, "Oh, we got to go to this place," and it's that kind of thing. But they have a separate guys area and a separate women's area, and I don't know. you know, to me, I never really got used to the idea of going into a place and sitting naked in a pool with a bunch of guys. Just doesn't really trip my trigger. I don't, and they wouldn't let me go next door, so, you know, well.
Oh, yeah.
Anyhow, all right, what about, now, one of the other things we wanted to find out about, what about horse movies?
Well, Vigo is in Hidalgo.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
all goes back to Vigo.
Yes, it all goes back to Vigo. I mean, it's just, he's such an amazing actor.
Hmm.
And you really never hear about him in the tabs, which I'm very appreciative of. He seems to just be an actor and, you know, sort of shut up otherwise.
So, wasn't there a movie about Secretariat here a few years back, too?
Yes.
That was a
Yeah,
pretty
it was
amazing story.
wonderful.
And I don't know-
Seabiscuit?
Yes.
Is it-
Is Sea-
Sea, or was it
Yeah.
Sea, well,
Yep,
Seabiscuit?
Yeah.
Seabiscuit
Yeah.
was that?
was the story about Secretariat?
no,
Oh.
that was about Seabiscuit.
That was
Okay.
Funnily enough. Oddly enough.
Yeah, interesting though. And then, of course, if you want to go way back in the history books, what about National Velvet?
Yes, with Elizabeth Taylor.
Well, that goes back,
Yeah.
was that the
That was
30s or
her
40s?
first movie, I believe,
Oh,
when
so-
she was a kid.
So that had to be, what, the 20s?
No.
I mean, it was back there a ways,
I
so.
think it was the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
How about The Man from Snowy River?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah,
good one. Man
yeah.
from Snowy River. Hey, we got a caller on the line. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Ah,
Yes!
The Black
Oh,
Stallion.
that's such a beautiful movie.
Right.
Biscuit? Yep, yep. It may
Boy, I'm
have
trying to remember.
been. Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
thank
you too. Interesting. Yeah, there's a couple there that I haven't thought about in years, and actually National Velvet was one of those popped
Yeah.
into my head, and it's like, my gosh, I
Right.
think I was pretty darn young the last time I saw that,
Sure.
but that was a good movie way back
Yeah,
when.
it was. And Black Beauty.
Oh, yeah,
You know, that's one I can't see. That's like seeing Old Yeller.
right?
You know, it's really, you know,
Right.
you'll weep
Yeah,
at the end.
wow, interesting. So a couple of interesting old horse movies from way back when. And, well, so while we're talking horses, favorite Western of all time? Anybody got one? You know,
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven, that's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
it's a Clint.
Yeah, yeah.
Shane.
And
Shane.
Shane.
Oh my
Oh.
God, so, yes, with Alan Ladd and Brandon Wild.
right.
And how did I remember that? I must have old brain cells.
The only kind I got. I really, I've said it before here, but one of the things that I really liked, and I really enjoyed the cinematography. It was also the first time I think any of us ever saw Kevin Costner was in Silverado.
Silverado,
And I
yeah.
thought, I still will watch that anytime it comes
And you know,
up.
that was where he did his own stunts.
And
I mean,
Glover-
He's such a writer.
Glover too, I think that was the first movie we saw him
He
in.
was great,
Yeah.
yeah, and Linda Hunt was in that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a really super good movie,
Wow,
yeah.
very good
Yeah,
stuff.
Kevin Costner, if there's a scene where he really just jumps on a bareback on a horse and rides.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
awesome.
my voice went up
Yeah.
quite high after
Woo!
seeing that. Coming up on 19 minutes in front of 10 o'clock. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning.
I love McCann's Gold.
Oh, yeah, McKenna's Gold.
Wow, that goes back. Was
Yes,
who all was in
I'm
that?
trying to remember, who was in that caller?
Actors mostly.
Was it James Garner by any chance? No, darn. He was in Maverick, yeah.
And you know that even in the Maverick
Yeah.
movie that was a takeoff of the TV series that Garner had done back in the 60s,
Yeah,
I found that to be a pretty entertaining
it
movie.
was, but McKenna's Gold, I will have
McKenna's
to
Gold.
look.
You know, I
that
remember
up.
the name, but I'm drawing a blank on the rest of it. But I've always loved a good Western, and they haven't really come out with too many of those lately, although we've had a few.
No.
I have to go back to the spaghetti westerns.
Oh, yeah.
High Plains Drifter.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How about-
Well, and the good, the bad, and the
Yeah, I was
ugly.
gonna
Come on
say,
now, you know, we
yeah.
always come back to that, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and Magnificent Seven, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. 7 or 8, I can't remember how many guys there are.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I just remember the music. Gosh, you know, I don't know, Andy, what about you? Favorite Western of all time?
The Missouri Breaks.
Oh, yes.
Missouri
with-
Breaks?
Yes, with Marlon. Yeah, Marlon Brando, that's a killer Western.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, that one's not ringing any dingers in my mind at
McKenna's
all.
Gold, by the way, was Gregory Peck.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
and Omar Sharif, Julie Newmar, and Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas.
Yeah.
No lollipops in that
There
movie,
you
though.
go.
In Missouri Breaks, Marlon Brando plays what they called a regulator.
Mhm.
And
Right.
regulator was not a law enforcement officer, but he was employed by the ranchers. Evidently, rustling was quite a thing back in the old days.
Wow.
And the regulators would settle the rustlers' hash by killing them.
Mhm.
And he kills one guy, very unfortunately for him, the guy is taking his ease in one of the small houses behind the big house, and Marlon Brando shoots him with this huge rifle, probably, what's the one that they used for the buffaloes?
I don't know.
50 caliber Spencer.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
But
a
anyway,
big
just-
gun.
Big gun, just goes right through the side of the outhouse, and this guy's nailed. But it's a beautifully filmed movie.
Mhm.
And, you know, interesting because of the social context.
Yeah.
And I got to use a quote from Marlon Brando in that. He said, I can't eat cabbage, it gives me the wind.
Oh, yes, yes, you did, didn't you?
Well, that movie
And
sounds
you know,
interesting.
Jack Nicholson was in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
I think he played a victim.
Yeah,
Forty.
he did.
Well, it sounds like
He
at
was
least,
a rustler, Tom Logan.
at least one of the actors in the movie had a pretty crappy ending, but anyhow, we'll take another call here. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum, good morning. Hi there.
For Westerns, I'd like to shoot it.
Oh, yeah,
Excellent
good
choice,
choice.
excellent.
Good choice.
And,
Yes.
second coming into that would probably be Tom Horn with Steve McQueen.
Whoa, Tom Horn.
Yes, that very, very good caller. Tom Horn was an amazing, terrific movie with Steve McQueen, and has a local tie-in. Tom Horn was another regulator, the true guy. Tom Horn was a real person, and he was involved in the Pleasant Valley War right here in Gila County.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how prominent he was, but I understand that he made an appearance. Of course, that war went on long enough that probably anybody who was anybody had an opportunity to stop by at one time or another. But that's a great movie. I'd like to go see that again right now. And caller, if you remember at the end of the movie, it's one of my favorite lines in moviedom. Tom Horn comes to a sad end. He's hung. And,
No, hanged,
hanged?
yes.
Excuse
You-
me. I got that mixed up.
You gotta watch that one.
Yeah, he was hanged. But at the end of the movie, Tom Horn's on the scaffold, and they put the rope around his neck, and he looks at him and he says, "You can't hurt a Christian."
Oh, there you go.
And
I love that.
that's just such a powerful line. I've never forgotten
I
that.
like
Thank you, caller.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
great.
Yeah.
You know, another note handed to me, how about Cat Ballou?
Oh, wonderful, with Lee Marvin
Well, that goes
playing
back a
the
ways.
drunkard, what was it called? Sharpshooter, right, who couldn't shoot. Right?
Couldn't
And
shoot.
he punches and his horse is drunk and he's drunk and really, you know, I'm not a big fan of Jane Fonda personally, but that was a good movie with her.
Really?
Yeah, it was good.
I don't have anything good to say. I won't say anything. Let's just take another call. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum, good morning. All right.
Yes,
Oh.
I agree with you. Oh, yeah.
No.
I don't. What did he say? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was the baddest bad guy. He was so good in that. Yeah, thank you for reminding us of that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what was the other one, caller? Oh, High Noon, okay.
Oh, High Noon, yeah.
And Mr. Mayor, I thought that you might have as your favorite Western, U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Mayor Morrissey, thanks for calling in and sharing that. I think a couple of great choices. I mean, those are biggies. You know, Jack Palance, wasn't he the one that was also in one of my favorite westerns? It's not really much of a western, but it made me laugh a lot. Was City Slickers?
Yes.
Wasn't? Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
He was the bad guy.
He played a sort of caricature of himself.
Right,
With
and
Billy
he,
Crystal.
he was
and-
typecast
Yes.
as a bad guy for years in a lot of
Forever,
those old
because
TV shows.
the plane, his face was the face of, you know.
Something that hit the wall really
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, I mean, those cheekbones, and he just looked mean.
Right.
But he was also the one, I don't remember which Academy Award it was, where I guess maybe he did win for City Slickers, but he did one-handed push-ups up on the stage.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That takes a little bit of
And he was not young.
Wow.
Yeah, he was probably in his 60s, 70s, maybe, well, 70s probably.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got another caller. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. The Proud Rebel.
I have not.
Who's in that?
Oh, yes, yes. Mhm. Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Yes, I remember him, Henry Hall. Yeah. Oh, great, I wrote that down, I'm gonna look for that.
Fantastic. Thanks for bringing
Yeah,
that.
thank
There's
you.
one out of obscurity there. And Alan Ladd,
Yes.
was he not also the host on the game show Password for a while?
I don't know. I'm,
I think so, but I could be wrong.
I'm.
I have been before,
Yeah, no,
but actually it was a mistake.
yeah. I got another one for you. Tombstone.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
With Kurt Russell
Right.
and really, Val Kilmer played Doc Holliday.
Oh.
What?
Val Kilmer played Doc Holliday.
yeah, that was,
Love
out of the couple of different versions of that whole story. And we're at 9 minutes now in front of 10 o'clock. 51 degrees, talking this morning as we do on Fridays with your hometown movie guys. And we have Tina, Andy, and Craig with us in the studio this morning. And we've been talking about what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters. And of course, you can always check that out by just logging on to sawmilltheaters.com. But we've also been talking about your favorite westerns, and the phone's been lighting up. And one of the other ones we were just talking about during the break there that I think is right up towards the top of my list would be Tombstone.
Yes.
And
Kurt
that,
Russell
yeah.
and Sam Elliott and Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday, and that was just a tour de force role.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're gonna pull that smoke wagon?
Yeah. Yeah.
well, and then who was the other version of
They came out the same year, didn't they?
I'm trying. Who? And in that one was
Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, and it was
Costner.
Kevin
Kevin
Costner.
Costner.
Was it? Yeah.
And then who played the part of Doc Holliday in that one? Because God, just like that. Well, anyway, in the other one, in Tombstone, I agree that the guy that played Doc Holliday, I liked his part. I also liked the line, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
You want to dance? Anyway, let's go back to the phones again. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Hi.
Alan Ladd did not have a game show. Alan Letton.
Oh.
Oh.
There you, I knew somebody was going to hold me right there. I knew it was Alan, and the guy's last name began with an L. I mean, how many can there be?
Thank
right?
you for keeping us on the straight and narrow here.
Okay, so it wasn't Alan. Well, it works good with hand grenades, too.
Yes. Boy, it's good to have a listening audience that's smarter than the hosts.
Right? And it's also not hard in this particular environment. Anyway, thank you very much.
We got
for that.
another
Appreciate it.
Western, and we really should talk about this,
Okay.
because at our classic movie last week, which was wonderful, by the way, North by Northwest with Cary Grant and
Mhm.
Eva Marie Singh and James Mason, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. If you come to the classic movie, you get to help guess or vote on what will be next month. And they voted in Blazing Saddles.
Oh,
I'm talk
boy.
about a Western.
Now,
huh?
I'm gonna have to show up for that one.
Seriously.
Because that is such a gut-bustingly funny movie.
Yes.
It's so politically incorrect
Oh.
that I don't think you could come out with a new one of those today and get away with it. I think
No.
you'd be chastised.
In fact, I've seen Mel talk about how he could never make that movie, and he's really, he's cranky. I mean, and I share his crankiness about how politically correct everything is, and so you can't make movies like that. It's so funny.
It's a good
And
movie.
it has so many references to previous movies, you know, the line badges, we don't need no stinking badges.
Right, right.
You know, back to the Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart. I mean,
And
Mel
this-
Brooks was a movie guy who loved movies, and he brought references into his movies.
Well, and he makes those kind of movies where the classics, like the one we're talking about now, that you're going to hear people in the crowd, you know, chiming in with the
Right,
different
exactly.
one-liners.
They'll say
And
it.
who knows? There'll probably be a lot of people going out and eating chili just before the movie so they can chime in on the fire scene too. Who knows?
So
Six-
that's the first Saturday of May, so
Wow.
y'all have to come.
Blazing Saddles. Good
Blazing
choice,
Saddles.
people.
Yeah,
I like
we
that
got,
one.
yeah.
All right. Hey, another caller on the line, 6 minutes in front of the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Hello? Was
Well,
it
good.
something I said?
That gives me a chance to get in here a little bit. Not my favorite movie, but the greatest Western of all time, The Searchers, with
Oh,
John
with
Wayne.
John Wayne.
The
yeah,
Searchers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
another
that
one I
was
think I
That's a
missed.
classic.
Really?
Boy.
John,
It
John,
just-
John Ford directed that, right?
Yeah, there's just not another Western that is better than
It's
that.
a beautiful movie.
Yeah, sure is.
And I think a lot of John Ford's westerns were done right here in
Well,
Arizona.
Stagecoach was done. Stagecoach is John Ford.
Mhm.
And then there's amazing stunts in Stagecoach.
Hey, another caller on the line, 5 minutes in front of the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Thanks for calling.
Headley.
Headley?
Headley Lamar. All right, I can tell you're going to be there. Oh, that's intense. Yeah, Reservoir Dogs.
You know, he had a couple of the other Quentin Tarantino film too, is
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah, there you go.
Well, and Django Unchained is a Western, and that's his Western, and I'm a sort of a guilty Tarantino fan. I like.
Well, we would be completely remiss talking about westerns if we didn't also mention True Grit.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
Rooster Cogburn?
Both of them,
Yeah.
yeah, and I liked the remake better than the original.
Really?
I really did.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a pretty good job with that. What was the gal's name that played the young girl in that one? I can't remember.
Kim Darby.
Kim
Haley
Darby?
Sayfield.
Kim Darby?
Haley Sayfield.
What?
Haley Sayfield?
Oh.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
interesting. Wow.
And local tie-in, our own Stan the Train Man Garner did the opening shot of the movie is shot through where two train cars come together. And Stan the Train Man Garner, right here in Payson, he's the one who arranged
Cool.
that shot.
Wow, very interesting.
And there's no other trains in the movie, but it's,
Yeah, talk to him about some of those experiences. Yeah, get him in here one of these
yeah, we
days.
would, that would be
That
fun.
would be interesting. Hey, another caller on the line. Hi, thanks for calling Rim Country Forum.
Oh, hey, here's
Something
another
I
gangster
said.
movie, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, Ray Liotta.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's a true story.
And he plays a pretty good psychotic guy.
He does. He does. He's very good at
I
that.
mean, they're
Yeah.
weird, twisted, whatever the right words are.
Yeah.
And Joe
Yeah.
Pesci.
And Joe
Joe
Pesci
Pesci,
was
yeah.
in that too. Yeah.
Again,
Again?
And then Joe Pesci also in, and it wasn't a Western or anything, but that movie with the two cops and he's
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays a different kind of wacky little dude in those, but
My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, my cousin Judy. Oh.
all right.
possibly the greatest movie ever made.
Wow. And there's no zombies in it.
I love that movie, yeah.
Another caller on the line. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. Very good. How are you?
I'm going to tell you, in the movie True Grit with Rooster Cogburn, when he's sitting at his kitchen table, there's some, what do they call them, bloopers. Things on the table seem to move, his coffee seems to move.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So did you see like a blooper reel from the movie or something?
No, I just caught it.
you're just paying attention.
Wow.
Gee.
I never thought about paying attention during the movie. That's it.
Yeah,
Um,
I know, but you know that.
I gotta go watch that now just to see for the stuff moving on the
Well,
table.
when I studied film, they always talked about continuity, and there was some guy who was always responsible for making sure that these things didn't happen.
Right.
You know, that you know, in Ben-Hur, you don't see the guy's watch, which you did see the guy's watch, so, yeah.
He was just ahead of his time.
When the guys are playing cards at the very beginning,
Yeah.
one of the guys changed on the table changes.
Oh, see, Mr. Continuity was not paying attention.
Man.
And you were, you should have gotten hired.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wait.
sadly not paying attention at all, apparently. Anyway, we appreciate the phone calls this morning, and of course, we always appreciate having the movie guys in here. And we'll be looking forward to, again, tomorrow morning, don't forget the fundraiser that's taking place. You can go see Dumbo for just $5, and that's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
10 o'clock,
10
yes.
o'clock. And then next month on the Classic Movie Saturday, Blazing Saddles back on the big screen again. And fortunately, they still haven't really been able to perfect the smell-o-vision, so you're safe on this
But
one.
Harvey Korman, oh my gosh.
I mean, there's just some, if you want to go
Lily
and
von
just,
Stupp.
yeah, if you want to go
And
and
if you
and
know
almost.
Yiddish,
if you-
that's a really bad word.
If you want to go and almost wet yourself laughing, this is a movie that will do it, in my opinion.
Yay!
And coming soon to a theater near you, in production currently, is Machete in Space.
Oh, be still my heart. Anyway, thanks to the movie guys, and thank you for tuning in and listening this morning to Rim Country Forum. It's been brought to you by Banner Basin Medical Center, Holiday Cruises and Tours, George Henry Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Suites by Kim Ross, and ITG Group Computer Services. You're listening to Rim Country Radio, KMOG Payson, coming up on 10 o'clock, 51 degrees.